feel like I'm about to make a 2014 style YouTube video, like, oh, I'm on my bed, I'm so cozy, like, no. Hello and welcome to this watching / ranking video for Final Destination. If this is your first time seeing my face or you're coming back, thank you so much for being here. I'm really happy to have you. So basically I have found / edited the tiers on a tier list maker for all the deaths in Final Destination, and then I have found a YouTube video where it shows all of them and what they are, because I have seen all the Final Destination movies. Like last year I think I watched them like all at once. The third one is definitely my favorite, and that is the one that I've seen the most, so the others for me are kind of a bit blurry. So basically I'm just gonna watch this YouTube video to refresh my memory of the characters and how they died, and then we are gonna rank them on the tier list. Now, as you can see here on my tier list, I have the top one is iconic. Now this one, it kind of covers all the bases. Like, it's memorable, it's good, it's scary. Like, it's just one of those tiers. Everything about it is good, and you'll see what I mean when I put some of them into that tier, because some of them are, it sounds weird to have favorite deaths, but they genuinely are. The next one is genuine phobia. Now, either this is a phobia that I already had that the movie has like exacerbated, or it's a new phobia that I developed from seeing someone die this way. The third tier is gross, which means that like it's memorable and the person died in a memorable way, but it wasn't like, it didn't make me scared, or, you know, it wasn't like, oh my god, iconic. For me, this one is just like, that would be a horrible way to go, and it was maybe kind of gory as well. Made me laugh instead is maybe a death where like the CGI was kind of cringe, or it wasn't believable, or I don't know. I have a weird sense of humor, and sometimes when people die comically in movies, it makes me laugh rather than being scared or grossed out. This tier would survive. Now, I genuinely don't believe that I would survive any of the deaths, because that's like the point, right? Is that you're not going to survive no matter how much you try and cheat it. Like, you can pass it on to the next person, but eventually it's going to come back to you, right? But just based on like how they've died, I included this one. And also, like, I couldn't really think of anything for this tier because this gave me one too many tiers than I actually needed. So this is kind of just like, we'll see how it goes with this one. And then the last one is forgettable, as in I forgot that this character existed, or I forgot that they died, or, you know, their death was forgettable. Just a general sweeping statement of, I don't know who they were and I don't really care. So here we have these are all the death scenes from Final Destination 1, so we're gonna watch it and then we will see what my reaction is. Not reaction, what my feeling is. Also, I thought it was kind of appropriate that I wear an Unasanis shirt just to remind us of like the, you know, fleeting mortality. And the water just, because, you know, water is sentient in this universe. I feel like I'm gonna put it in would survive, because I genuinely forgot that this was even a thing that happened. But also, like, if I tripped in the bathroom, I don't really see how whatever that wire thing was is gonna get trapped around my neck.
You can just drop fucking dead.
No, I hate that. I hate that so much. This one, I mean, it is a genuine phobia for me to get hit by a bus, but because it's a genuine phobia of mine, I am so, like, vigilant when crossing the road. So I think I'm just gonna put her one in gross, because, like, the blood splat, you hear it, and, like, yeah, like I said, it is a genuine phobia, but, like, I'm so careful that, like, I don't know if I'm scared enough because of, like, this movie didn't necessarily make me scared of it, and it didn't make me more scared of it happening to me. So next we have Valerie's death scene? Let's see. No. Okay. So the first bit where, like, it flew into her neck, that was, yeah, that was bad. And then it just kept getting worse. I think I'm gonna have to put this into made me laugh instead, because it just kept getting more ridiculous. Like, her blood was on fire, and then the knife just somehow like, I know knives are sharp, but, like, falling from a counter isn't gonna, like, it would probably have just, like, landed flat or bounced off. Yeah. No, the first bit was scary and gross and kind of believable, and then it just kept getting more ridiculous, and I'm sorry, but I couldn't believe it. So is this Carter or Billy? Let's find out. Oh god. That is gonna go in gross. It's not enough of a genuine phobia, but it's kind of gross. Whoa! Oh, that was cheating. We didn't even see that one. That's going straight into forgettable. Okay, so starting off with number 2, we have Ellen Lewis's scene, who at first skips the first, like, part of his death, but then is killed by the second part. I remember the second part very vividly, and like I've already said for a few of these, I think I know where I'm gonna put it, but we will see. I hated it, but I also think originally I was just gonna put this in gross, but I kind of think I'm gonna have to put it in iconic, because for me it was the one that started off the whole, like, the wind. The wind is the real problem, and, like, yeah, I don't know, it wasn't, like, I think everyone remembers that, and I think a lot of people have a fear of fire escapes now because of that. So next up we have Tim Carpenter, who is crushed by a falling glass pane. That's going straight in forgettable, because I didn't even know or remember that was a thing. So, oops, sorry Tim, rest in peace. Next up is Nora, his mom, I'm assuming. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, I know. That one is going straight into genuine phobia. That is horrifying. So Kat is gonna go in, I feel like I'm gonna put her in Would Survive. I don't drive, so therefore this wouldn't this wouldn't be a problem for me. I wouldn't be in the driver's seat, and I wouldn't be trapped. And also, like, everyone else gets out safely, and she dies so stupidly just because the airbag deploys. Like, come on, you could have given her something cooler. God. How did they not have a more visceral reaction to that? If I saw my friend get cut in 3, I would be screaming, crying, throwing up. Like, that's going straight into gross. Okay, next up we have Eugene. Oh, no. That was so disappointing that I think I'm gonna have to put it in Would Survive. I'm sorry, that is so dumb. Oh, clear, baby. You deserved a better death than that. I'm putting her in forgettable because she died as a secondary part of him dying, which is so unfair because, like, I don't think they should have got her out of the padded cell. That was such a genius idea. I think she should have lived, in my opinion. Oh, that's the, like, burnt body that goes flying. I don't know when that is, though. Yeah, this is the scene, right? Brian Gibbons? I think I have to put it in iconic. I'm sorry, I have to. This part doesn't have a scene, so forgettable because nobody knows what actually happened to them, apparently. Okay, I'm just gonna do number 3 because Number 3 was the best. The first one is Ashley and Ashlyn. Insane. Okay. So, I think that we all agree that this one goes in iconic. I think that when you think of Final Destination, like any of them, you think of this scene, right? You think of the tanning beds. I know that this unlocked a lot of phobias for people. I mean, it did for me personally. I've never been someone who is interested in using a tanning bed, as you can see. But I just, and yes, it did like unlock a phobia, but it's just so iconic. When you think of Final Destination, this is it. This is the scene. The next one is Frankie Cheeks. He is the like creepy photographer guy that like not tried to take the upskirts, that was someone else. But he was just like trying to get with those 2 girls constantly, and he was a creep, and yeah. Oh my god, I'm so stressed. Even though I know what happens, I'm so stressed. I think I'm just gonna go straight ahead and put that one in gross. Like, didn't unlock any kind of fears for me. It's definitely rememberable. Is that a word? Probably. It doesn't make me laugh because the whole scene stresses me out. The next death is Lewis at the gym. I kind of hate this scene, and I kind of think I already know which one I'm gonna put it in because I don't like this.
Or to make the utilitarian choice.
And as you can tell by my reaction, you know where this is going. It's going in Made Me Laugh instead, because the ridiculousness of like someone getting their head crushed at the gym. No thank you. The next scene is Erin's death with the nail guns. This is rememberable for me, so it's definitely going in one of the higher tiers, but let's see how I feel about it after watching. Okay, let me think. I don't know if this is like a phobia of this happening to me, because I am never really within close proximity of a nail gun. I think most people aren't. So it's not really, like, it is a phobia because obviously I don't want to get a nail gun into my head. My gut reaction is telling me genuine phobia, because this one makes me like actually nervous. Like, I don't know the likelihood of it happening to me because, like I said, I'm not ever really around nail guns, but it could be something that happened if you were like in a, I don't know, like a home base or, you know, something like that. And my gut is telling me genuine phobia, so we're gonna put that one there. The next one is Ian McKinley. This is Erin's boyfriend. He kind of sets up a lot of the explanation, I guess, for like how saving someone skips them, and how like potentially S-wording yourself would help a lot of other people. And even though his character's an ass, I think he was definitely needed to explain to the audience and to a lot of people sort of how the sequence works. Okay, that one for me is gonna have to go in Made Me Laugh instead. Sorry. The next one is Perry. I don't remember this character, but I remember how they died. So I'll be interested to see how this plays out, because this is kind of a phobia of mine, as I've stated in previous videos. I don't like horses. I am very, very afraid of horses. This one is going in genuine phobia because I do genuinely believe that a horse could cause my death. So the next ones are all all set on a train. But each person's death, like, situation is kind of different. So I'm gonna obviously treat them differently as to, like, how that person dies, how I would feel about that. So first up we have Julie, which is Wendy's sister. Okay, I think I will put that one in maybe forgettable. It kind of oh, she's not even on this list. Okay, well, I mean, I was gonna put it in forgettable anyway, because I remember that she dies, but getting hit with a train wheel, I didn't remember that part. Okay, for him, I'm torn between gross and would survive. Like, getting your head crushed by a window, that is horrifying, and that is kind of gross. However, I feel like I've seen enough things of like how to potentially survive a train crash, and I know that I would just kind of stay on the floor, stay low, like I wouldn't kind of like try and move around as much, and so I'm gonna put his in I think I would survive. Wendy's death is like a whole sequence, it's a whole scene. That's straight up going in genuine phobia. I am so scared of being hit by a train. Hello, ignore the fact that I look completely different and it's a different day, but we're going to be finishing the ranking video for 4 and 5. And I've actually done my homework this time and I've looked it up so we can finish it off. So first up, after the whole like car wreckage scene, we have Nadia's death. Okay, I would have put that under made me laugh, but the fact that like she twitched afterwards, that's going in gross. So next we have Carter Daniels, whose foot gets caught on his truck and basically like everything gets set on fire. The fact that this guy just does nothing to help. Okay, so Carter, when I first watched it, I was gonna put it in genuine phobia, but now I'm kind of thinking I want to put it in made me laugh instead, or would survive. I think it's the fact that there's that guy on his front porch just does absolutely nothing to help is what made me laugh. So next up we had Samantha Lane, who is killed by a rock going through her eye. That one kind of elicited a nothing reaction from me. I think I'm just gonna put it in forgettable. It was way too quick and it didn't really have any impact on anyone. So next we have Andy Cuser, who is struck by a flying CO2 tank and he gets like pinned to this railing thing. It's so unbelievable. Like, I know these movies you're not supposed to take them seriously, but like, I just don't know if that could actually happen, and like, yeah, it is gross. You know, like, he's kind of cut or whatever, but honestly, I think I'm gonna have to put it in would survive. Like, I don't know if I would ever be in a situation where that might happen to me, but also I feel like a lot of these people, the ones that I end up putting in would survive are usually the people that like are kind of arrogant about their deaths. And for me, I know that I would be just doing my hardest to avoid dying if I knew I was gonna die. So I think I'm gonna put that in would survive. Next up we have Winowski, who is disemboweled through his butt by a swimming pool. I think I'm gonna have to put this in iconic, because how many people do you know have ever died by getting stuck in the, like the pipe of a pool? It's just, oh, it's incredible. It's so bad, and it's so gross, and like, I think for a lot of people that was a phobia of like having something bad happen to them in a swimming pool. Oh, it's horrendous. Next up we have Jonathan Groves. In the first part of this, he's like nearly been electrocuted and stuff, but he manages to survive. So this next bit, I think he drowns in a bathtub, or he gets crushed by a bathtub. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna put that in forgettable. George Lanter, this one is literally like 2 seconds. I know it doesn't really make sense to me to put that in forgettable when I already put the other person here as gross when she gets crushed by the thing. Let's go forgettable. I'm sorry. So we have Janet, Laurie, and Nick, who all get killed by this truck in just the most dramatic way, and I just think it's iconic. And the flying tooth, okay, that is just straight up iconic. The music and the like the X-ray type thing, oh, it's just so cool. It deserves its spot there. Okay, so we are now finally on to Final Destination 5. This is probably I think it's probably my second favorite in the franchise. Like, the third is probably my favorite, and then this one is like the one that I probably would like rewatch and I remember the most, and I like the way the ending just kind of ties everything together. I already know where I'm putting this one. This is probably one of my favorite scenes in a movie ever. Like, you just cannot beat the tension and the suspense and everything. It's so good. This scene with the pin, no one could ever replicate it. I am so stressed. Oh. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, I want to put it in iconic because I think of it all the time. But as someone who used to do gymnastics, and things like this just freak me out, it's going in genuine phobia. So next up we have Isaac's death, which I believe he is crushed by like a statue or something. I am gonna go ahead and put Isaac's death straight in would survive, because I am never gonna be in a position to get acupuncture because I am scared of it already, and I don't want to have loads of needles put in me, and if I never go and get acupuncture, I'm never gonna have that happen to me. Next, we have Olivia Castle. This is one that has genuinely traumatized me, and we will see where I'm gonna put it. I'm putting that straight into genuine phobia because I can't. I think I'm gonna move the gymnastics one to iconic, and that one's gonna stay in genuine phobia. Oh, I can't even speak. I hate that one so much. It is the worst one for me. It said died, replaced with Roy Carson. So Roy must be the one who gets lifted by the hook. Maybe Gross. I think that's, yeah. I think Gross is a good middle ground for that one. It's kind of quick, and you remember it, but like, it doesn't have a huge impact. And also, I don't really think I remember the character that well. So next up, we have Dennis's. Okay, that one was... That's going straight in. I thought that was going to be worse because I kind of had forgotten about that one. We know where that's going based on my reaction. Who is next? Peter? Peter was my least favorite character in this one. I hated him so much. One is gonna go in forgettable. It was very boring. I remember this because it obviously like ties up the movie, ties up the whole premonition thing. Bye, Molly! Oh! I called him Nathan the whole time, but it was actually Sam and Molly. But that's going straight in iconic, even though it is a fear of mine, because, I mean, I don't really have a fear of flying, but, I mean, who wouldn't after that? And finally, we have Nathan, I believe. I love the way that ends. Okay, that's going to make me laugh. There's like 3 here that I'm missing, and I cannot for the life of me work out what they are, but we're just gonna ignore those. So this is the end of my list. I hope everyone can see it okay. I feel like we have a pretty good average on most of them, right? It's a shame that the forgettable one is kind of the most full up one, because I genuinely thought I remembered more, but then I also kind of realized that I haven't seen the second or the fourth one as much as I thought, and I think that most of the ones from the second and fourth are in that tier. I think iconic has a good mixture of all of them. Yeah, we have like 4th, 5th, 3rd, yeah. And then, thank God that these movies didn't scare me too much, that the genuine phobia one isn't that full. There's only 5 in there, so, you know, I didn't get too traumatized from these movies. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please leave a comment, please feel free to subscribe. Everything will be linked down below, like my Patreon and my Twitter and TikTok and everything you can possibly follow and think of. I'm thinking of doing a Scream ranking for the next video, like a sort of characters thing. A lot of them are including the TV show, which I've only seen season 1 of, I think, so I'll probably need to finish that before I do that ranking video. And I'm also due to see Scream 5 or Scream, whatever you want to call it. It's just called Scream, but I call it Scream 5 soon. So hopefully that will be next week. But yeah, if you liked this or you've got any ideas that you want me to rank, because chances are I won't be able to do a movie commentary for a little while, so it's probably going to be videos like this. But yeah, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I love you all. Stay groovy. Bye bye.